Hi everybody! Today we are making fire. I have this awesome piece of pine fat wood that I brought from home, even though I'm not going to show you right now, but we're surrounded by pine. And by proxy we're surrounded by fat wood too, so you know, whatever. Anyway, making some shavings of this that I'm going to collect in my stainless steel plate here, because otherwise they go all over the ground and they're really hard to manage, and I've been down that road before and I don't like it. No sir, I don't.
All the shaky parts of the video are going to be tripping out on these black flies.
Right? They're a nightmare this time of year. And the curious bumblebees.
Well, they're just so kamikaze about it, you know. I don't think they're landing so much as they are just running into me.
Right, they keep getting me in the eyes and ears.
Eyes for me, not so much ears.
Look at that. There's resin in that.
Now show me.
Wait your turn. Mosquito on my eyelid. Yeah.
Oh,
How close can we get on that?
Did I tell you about him? It smells really good too.
Oh man. Yeah, can you smell that? Sort of turpentine-y smell? Yeah, you can smell it. I know you can. I'm making a base for the fire. That's good enough. Okay. Yeah, and we'll just get some kindling going in a minute here. Alright. I am getting assaulted by bugs.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Moving the plate around.
That's what I would just edit all that out.
Oop, oh, I had it and I put it out. Gloves off. This is pure fat wood here, folks.
Smells real well.
I'm hoping it's going to help with the bugs.
I hope so too. Gotta smudge them out, eh?
Spirits be gone.
This is what you call cheating.
What, using fat wood?
No. Taking another man's video.
Pretty good resolution on that viewfinder there, huh?
Yeah, it's what, 640 plus 1080. We're doing
That's
good.
right, you read the manual for my camera, I forgot.
I did, yeah.
The fire rip snorting now.
Phew.
Turned the camera off while I busted up some kindling and threw it on the fire. Got some bigger stuff on there already. It's all pine, so it burns super well.
Fast.
You don't really need to take your time building this fire. It just rained here yesterday, but it doesn't seem to matter any.
All this morning, too.
And the bugs don't seem to be as much of an issue now, do they?
Nope.
No. There Todd goes, making points again. So we've got this pine log here that we want to split. And Todd's like, hey, this would make good video.
Now, get that thing out of there so we can start over.
Alright, here we go. Okay.
Here's the idea. Explain on, good explainer.
Alright, so we want to drive this in here to wedge this log open. And normally you use a series of wedges, but we don't have any wedges and I don't want to take the time to make wedges, so I'm just going to stick sticks in there. And as we go down the length of the log, if we need to split it apart anymore, like driving wedges in wood, well, we'll just go back with the hatchet, drive it open a little bit more, and put a bigger stick in. And I'm using this old Estwing hatchet that has a full-tang metal handle, so I don't really feel bad about driving on the thing. It's not really going to hurt it like it would with a wooden handled axe.
That works.
Okay. Let's go further on down here.
This is what, basically a wash, rinse, repeat, huh?
Yeah.
So you get all kinds of different camera angles. Wait.
Oh wait, that's not where I wanted to drive it anyway. I wanted to go a little further back. Okay.
Hang on. Okay. It's almost there.
Yeah, we're split down the whole length up to this point.
Almost go up to the end. It's like it's there, it just needs a little help. Bam!
There it goes.
Nice, that's gonna be way easier for us to buck up with our saws.
Yeah.
Bam.
But bam, son.
Next up, dinner table. That's cool.
It's almost a shame to use it for firewood.
It's just piney.
So it's been bucked up now. Part of it's even on the fire. So that was why we did that, because otherwise we would have had to have sawed through that thing at full thickness, which with these little hand saws would have been an absolute nightmare, and then had to have split it afterwards. This made the whole job much easier. So Todd tells me, oh, you don't have to do all the prep work on camera. So this is today's cooking segment. Prep work is already done. We have roughly a 2-pound pork shoulder with curry powder, a little oil in our pan here, and we're going to go ahead and give that a sear. And once this has a good sear on it, I am going to add chicken stock with a little bit of fish sauce, some coconut milk, some more curry powder, a potato, an onion, and a bell pepper. And once it's all done, we're going to finish it off with a little bit of cilantro. Have ourselves a lovely bit of curry. That sear on there. And get that on all four sides. Giving this another flip. Gotta get it seared on all sides. Alright, so I have got the sear going on all sides here. And now I've thrown in my vegetables. We have some frozen chicken stock. Already has the fish sauce in it, courtesy of Todd. I don't know. Is this chicken stock from...
This is from the chicken they raised.
Okay, yeah. So this is homegrown chicken stock here.
And there's some rib bone in there with it.
Well, hopefully that renders down pretty good.
Rib bone stock.
So, obviously that needs to melt. We'll get that going. Then in goes the coconut milk and some honey, and we'll finish it off later with the cilantro. And of course the pork roast needs to cook. Alright, so I wound up using all 3 cups of chicken broth that we had set aside for this. Todd has informed me that the fish sauce is not present. This isn't going to be authentic curry. This is supposed to be Thai curry, except with pork. But whatever. So anyway, adding more curry powder now. A lot more curry powder. And when the chicken stock melts, that will kind of mix itself a little bit.
Light on.
Alright, so it's starting to get dark, so I'm not going to film any more of this, but as you can see, it's coming along quite nicely. We could eat it right now if we wanted to, and we'd be fine, obviously. It's completely cooked through, but I want that pork to be falling apart. So we're giving it a little bit longer. Also going to try to concentrate the broth down a little bit. But rest assured it'll be good, and I'll tell you tomorrow how it was. Right, so I lied. I'm showing you now in the dark with my flashlight. Here it is done. It is delicious. But you can't have it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, the curry was freaking awesome. I got that late night shot of it before we started eating it, and before we remembered to put the cilantro on it. That made it better.
Yeah.
So, we got coffee over there, getting started. I'm going to go ahead and get the fire started while Todd's over there soaring.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes.
blade needs to be like 3 inches longer.
Well, I just looked at the time. Apparently we've only been awake for 40 minutes yet. Here the fire's cooking along. I'm halfway through my coffee already. We're really getting this whole thing down, I think. It's bright. So the plan today is we're going to head... Hi, Mr. Bumblebee. We're going to head back up the road where we came in to another campground just up the road, Cultus Creek Campground. And there's a trailhead heading south from there that goes to a bunch of different little lakes up here around the Indian Heaven Wilderness that we're going to check out. You know, maybe scout some fishing for a later date. Should be cool. So that's the plan for today. Bring our lunches with us and come back here for dinner. I don't know how much hiking we're going to do, but a fair bit. I don't know if you can even see me through the smoke right now. But that's alright, keeps the bugs away. So, we'll get back to you from the trail later probably. Alright, according to my GPS, right after this bend, we should hit the Indian Heaven Wilderness boundary.
Camp someplace, I like that.
Like,
I'll look it up. Please.
the only other hikers we've seen so far.
And they startled the shit out of me.
Well, I knew they were there.
Oh, I did. I was stoned out.
We talked to them in the parking lot already.
Well, yeah.
Todd's been enjoying some of the local flora. All right. Yeah, we should be seeing a sign for the wilderness boundary probably right around this bend. I think. Find out in a minute. Here he comes. And he's going to be pleasantly surprised when he sees that, oh shit, it goes uphill. You know what? I'm looking at the viewfinder and there's no perspective on how steep this really is.
At least it's not like suicide where you go in. It's like
Up, 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 up.
fun and all downhill.
It looks like things start to level out a little bit up here, but it's going to be some lumpy terrain. I got the topographical view of it and it's not pretty, but we're going to do it. A couple of out of shape asthmatics starting at 4,000 goddamn feet. So yeah. Alright, we've crested the hill. And like I figured, here it is. And there's a reason they call it this. Back in the day, the natives would come here in the springtime, and basically it was just party time when they got here. Because everything's easy pickings. The fish, the berries, just everything here is so abundant. So there's areas out here where they would play games, have races. There's a freaking racetrack out here. It's called the Indian Racetrack. They'd have horse races. They came out here and screwed around. Thus, Indian Heaven. Okay.
I'm just falling off the hill.
So, I just looked at the map, and that hill that we were fighting our way up is just the tiniest little teaser for what's to come. We have reached an elevation of about 4,150 feet, and we have another 1,000 to go before we start descending.
We got mosquitoes all over us.
Yeah, it's getting nasty.
Black flies are gnarly.
Like I said, you know, we're two out of shape asthmatics, so
Yep.
As much as I would like to do this and hit those lakes,
I'd rather err
it's
on the side
not
of caution.
realistically going to happen. So we're going to go back to the car, go back down the road a little bit to Hidden Lakes, which is, yeah, there's a chain of 3 lakes together, and they're just kind of on an old roadbed. It's not even a trail. The elevation changes don't really look that bad at all. So we're going to go check those out because we're sissies.
That's right.
Hola! So that's the road. We're parked right up there. And that's Todd. And yeah, so this is an old roadbed that we're on right now. I forgot to note the number of it. I don't really care, but it goes right into the middle of Hidden Lakes. So there's this little cluster of 3 lakes that we're going to check out instead of the other thing because the terrain is much more forgiving, the trail is much shorter, and did I mention that we're a couple of out-of-shape asthmatics? I might have said something about that. So, down we go on this trail, and pretty shortly we'll arrive at the lakes. Alright, I gotta stop real quick.
Evergreen something?
What on earth is this stuff?
We can cross that picture and show me your garden. There's some native folk out there that might know.
Weird. It's in the air.
Sorry.
And the way that the trees kind of clear out up here, can tell that we're coming up on these lakes.
What?
What? Looks like there's still some undergrowth to get through yet. So I'll probably have to get back to you. Alright, so here's what the GPS says about what's going on. The old roadbed we're on, and these are the lakes. So that's telling me that there's one right over there, just like I thought, but it's not quite so direct to get to. Right, so this is what we're walking through. This is the trail. This right here is a treat. It hasn't been open like this in a while. We're going through all these young spruces and pines. The pines are nice, they're soft. These spruces, on the other hand, are viciously pokey. Really sucks. Ow! But these pines are just like a shag when they're this young. Very soft. Actually rather pleasant. But then right next to it, ow, spruce at the same time. It is huckleberry season as well. I mean, the bushes are just littered with these things. They are delicious. Purple huckleberries. And then we have the dusty blue ones as well, which are also good, but they're not nearly as good as the purples. Before this trip, apparently Todd had never had a purple huckleberry.
Oh, no, I haven't.
He only had red ones, and he didn't know what the hype was about.
Well, they're good. I like making syrup and stuff out of them, but
Not the same.
things are flipping amazing.
Yeah, there's a reason they're sought after. We're just fortunate that the bears haven't gotten them all before we did.
That's why I keep hay barren.
Hey, Baron. Who's Baron?
Wildlife tree.
So it is.
Hell of a tree.
Saved for their food and shelter. Okay. I mean, not exactly a scarce commodity around here, but whatever. Alright, this is 1,000 times better. I saw a little bit of a clearing through the trees, and it looks like it was an old turnoff from the side of the road that was still cleared out. but then the road reconnected to it. And it's much clearer. As you can see, there's even tracks still visible. I mean,
ooh, I can smell the water.
Granted, this is probably maintained more by wildlife than anything else, because
Hey there!
you gotta walk half a mile into the frickin' woods and then all of a sudden the trail picks up. It's a little suspicious if you ask me. So I'd say that, yeah, bear and deer and whatever else are keeping this going. And like I was just talking about earlier, we're just kind of blathering back and forth about nonsense a lot, just to try to keep the predators in the area aware of our presence.
Look at this big old bear here.
You see people wandering around yelling, "Yo, bear!" Stuff like that. Which, you know, if you're by yourself, what are you gonna do? I guess you can sit there and sing, but
Like that?
yeah, it's just a matter of making enough noise to where they know you're here. So, I have you, the viewer, to talk to. I have Todd to talk to.
Don't talk to me.
I have you, the viewer, to talk to. So, you know, I can't stop picking these.
Look at this moss.
This brings me back to my childhood.
Some
Yeah.
lovely moss. I'm gonna
That is cool moss.
take a macro.
When I was a kid, we used to go up and pick huckleberries. And I was kind of terrible at it, because my bucket never really seemed to get full. Oh! There's a bit of hair. Tells me something's been through here. It's black, so that kind of narrows it down. Tastes like bear.
Where is it?
Oh, it's just on one of those huckleberry leaves. So yeah, this is clearly a bear track. But part of the magic of living in the South Cascades is that the bears are very used to people and they want nothing to do with us. So, as long as you're making your presence known, they'll leave you alone.
Hey there!
It's all these wild strawberries. One's back at camp. Had some available, but looks like these have all been foraged already. Which is kind of unfortunate. So I don't know if you've ever had a wild strawberry or not. They are the tiniest little things, but they pack more flavor than an entire case of the store-bought strawberries. They are amazing. So I just decided to pull up my map and I was like, oh hey, according to this, there should be a big lake right there. Looking, and then,
Guess what?
oh my god,
Guess what? Guess what?
there is a big lake right there.
It's back in there.
We're very close. I think we're just gonna follow this a little bit. If not, we'll just cut through if there's some kind of game trail headed right over there. So we'll have lunch by the lake and whatnot. Alright. Excuse me while I finish the huckleberries that are in my mouth. Here it is. Hidden Lake.
It smells like mud.
Living up to its name. Oh my god. Where'd he go?
The teeniest little frog you ever did see?
There he is.
He's like half an inch crossed.
Come on, focus in on him. Yeah, he's a tiny little guy.
There's another one.
Oh my god, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Hippity hopping here and there. Try not to step on them, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good sign. This is
Right.
good. Oh, look, we have a log to sit on and eat our sandwiches.
Wow.
Did you zoom all the way across there? What is that? Top of the lake.
Look at this.
Hatching bugs and things.
Somebody's taking advantage of the mosquito population.
Yeah, they're just cruising.
Wow.
It's really cool.
They skim the water. That's so cool. There's just a bunch of them. I want to get this tiny little bugger before he runs away. There we go.
That's a big heron.
Look at that. Hey. Whoops.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, it's okay.
He's up. He's good.
Okay.
All right. Hello. That is a heron. Looking kind of knackered. He sees me looking at him. Sorry, I can't hold the camera any steadier than this at full zoom. Difficult. He's quite far away. But he still sees us. Alright, so here's the update. This is the second in the chain of 3 lakes. The archipelago of lakes. It's a completely incorrect term, but I like doing that. So, let's get a little closer here. We've been trying to identify tracks. We've definitely seen cougar, we've definitely seen elk, definitely seen some coyote. We've seen a few that we're kind of debating on whether or not they're bear, but they're like months old, whatever they are, so that's why it's difficult to tell. So this lake is about half the size of the other one. And squish, 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 squish. You can see the dip in the tree line there. The map contours show us that that heads directly to the next lake. However, this is fairly impassable back in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the old road bed where it looks like it intersects up with another old road that follows up around all these lakes. And I think that's going to be our access point. So you see that? That's our lunch log. We found
Mighty fine lunch it was.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, snacks.
Made us some sandwiches.
A sandwich that I didn't have to make.
So we found a trail that kind of starts way over there at that kind of little point right there, and then it kind of skirts along and comes down over here and intersects with the trail going up that way to the road that I somehow missed on the map to start with. I'll blame the sunlight. I couldn't see it.
That's it.
Yep, that's definitely all it is. So anyway, we're going to take that and head back to the car. We found 2 of the 3 lakes and decided we didn't really care about the third one, so whatever.
It's tiny anyway.
Teeny itty bitty.
Everybody forgets about him. He's used to it.
So Todd's over there eating already. What we have today on the menu, I already made it. I'm not going to show you that because it's a pain. We have rotini pasta with tomato basil marinara and Italian sausage. And I'll tell you what, it's delicious. You can't have any. So, just wanted to show you around camp a little bit. Wanted to give a quick shout out to the U.S. Forest Service. On their website, this is listed as being Little Goose Campground. They've got the coordinates on there. It says there's 6 sites here, pit toilets, no fee, which was what attracted me to it. So I'm like, cool. So I follow the coordinates they give for the campground. And So like right there, you can see it clearly was a driveway of some sort at one point, but now there's not. And then over here, we have that thing is embedded in there. It's obviously, you know, was part of something at some point. I don't really know what. Over here, we have another something interesting. Aww. So what happened there is the batteries died. Had to change them. Anyhow, so you can see there's this busted up concrete here. And if you look, here's a square post. More square post. And you can see this squared and right angle edge. And if you look, there's concrete. And then it's all sludgy in there. And it stinks. Which tells me that this is the vault toilet that they speak of. So, the same U.S. Forest Service that put all this information on their website as this being an open campground with all these amenities is the same U.S. Forest Service that sent some dumb son of a bitch out here to tear all of this stuff out of here. So figure that shit out. Thanks, guys. Anyway, we've explored the area a little bit and we've found some other anomalies exactly like that. So at least we know now. No thanks to them. How's that for a view? So we packed up our stuff and headed out of camp. This is a viewpoint just along the road that we actually passed coming in. And I kind of glanced over like, oh hey, a viewpoint. And then I thought, we'll stop on the way back and look at it. And boy, am I glad we did.
No, get out of the way.
Anyway, so we are on our way back up the road we came in on, like I said. And there is a trail up the road a little ways that leads to some more lakes. And this one, I can tell, is actually like a real trail that like still has use and everything. So that should help. The berry fields. Hot! A lonely aspen tree. They call it a quaking aspen, and right now you can see why.
Tell them why, Nick.
Yeah, when the wind hits the leaves, it makes them shake around like that. And it's weird because this is the only one I have seen. There's no other, well, actually, where we are right now, there's no other hardwood whatsoever. That's it. But otherwise, you know, there's just been like mountain scrub alder, which gets like 6 feet tall, and that's it. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Here we are, the Pacific Crest Trail. We're gonna do the whole thing in one day, right? Right. Starting from Washington. Because that's the whole thing.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oregon.
we need to take this section of the trail and then it's gonna tee and we're gonna take it to the right and it's gonna go off to some little lakes. And there's Matt Adams in the background. Look at that.
I was about to try it. Alright, now let me do my...
Sexy mountain. Got some nice photos of it earlier. Oh yeah, it was on video too. I just didn't zoom in on it. Okay, so we were looking at this T off of the trail, like I said on the map, and there's where we're parked. And we saw this, there's an old signpost here, and a sign with nothing on it. I saw this nonsense from where we parked. They were trying to renaturalize this old road here, which I guess was fine, except I found out this was the trail we needed. And this crap is just too nasty to walk through. So the plan now is we're going to follow the trail up, and after a while this reconnects to it again. And I'm just kind of hoping maybe they left it as a trail then. If not, we'll at least probably have a good viewpoint of the lakes. I'm sure there's going to be some way of getting down to them. So we're going to keep hiking for a while and find out. We got all day. Cleared up, you say?
Yeah, it's about as good as the last one.
Ah!
Only this
Okay.
one's not laying on the ground.
Actual tire tracks.
Yep.
So it's time to consult the map and find out what we're supposed to do right here. Alright, so a decision was made. We are going to continue straight down the trail instead of taking this road and see where it takes us, and if that doesn't work out, then we try this. See how it goes. Alright, so here's the trail cutting across that road that we wanted again. Apparently just that little stretch that we were trying to walk before was dug out, and the rest of it's fine still. So this continues the PCT, which we're not going to take right now because we want to follow this around and check out the lakes. But it's about noon right now, a little after. So we've got plenty of time to check out everything we wanted to, I think. Over this direction, there's a bunch of Native Americans camped over there because it's the start of huckleberry season. And they have exclusive privilege to the huckleberries on this part of the land, actually. We're not allowed to pick them at all. So here's the trail we want. We're going to have to go around all this nonsense. Interesting. There's another way around over there. It looks like that there's a bunch of people camped there. Again, we don't want to bother them. And a deer exploded here. Campers? Or what? Trees? 3 that I can see. You ready to see something? I said, are you ready to see something? Surprise! It's a lake. Surprise Lakes. And the damn road goes right to it. Why are we hiking? For health. There is some activity going on this lake. I don't know how well you can see all those little mosquitoes buzzing around. Just everywhere on the surface. And then you can hear the black flies. Nonetheless, it's pretty cool. I'd assume if there was any fish in here, I would have seen them by now. Just frogs. Don't you wish you were here? There's that lake. Okay, granted, it's really buggy. Oddly, the mosquitoes don't seem to be that bad right here. I don't know why. It's mostly black flies. They don't seem to be biting. More tiny frogs. So freaking little. Another one over here. They just litter the ground. Gotta watch your step. So just a minute ago, we saw a gray fox run through into the bushes up there, and I heard it crackling out that way. Unfortunately, it was not caught on video. That would have been way cool. At least I think that's what it was. Todd saw something gray. I didn't catch it. And he said it was raccoonish size. I'm racking my brain to think of what else it would be.
Raccooning his brain.
Check this out. It's a shoulder blade. And there's the other one.
Scapula.
Cool. Got a femur, looks like.
I don't know my anatomy of critters very well.
Looks like a femur to me.
As far as like individual names and things, I know what they look like.
Oh. Nope, never mind, that's a pine knot. Deceptive. Cool. Okay, I lied, the mosquitoes are vicious. So down by this first lake still, we haven't moved on. There's this cool raft. Some sawn timbers. Here's the view of the whole thing from the water's edge. It's just beautiful up here. Well, it was. Ah, there we go. Okay. So that only gets us to the one lake. Or no, that goes to those people camping. It just loops around this. Mosquitoes. That only gets us to the one lake. That got us to the other lake. And according to the map, the trail is right here, but there is no trail here. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but we're just going to move on, head back over to the PCT and see what we can see from there. So there's our log jam. And what is this? This is a trail that goes the right direction, even though it's not in the right spot on the map. So, onward we go on this. Mosquito on my face, sorry. More of these wild strawberries. There's a bunch of them. And then there's mosquitoes on me. These are delicious. Alright, so what really happened was it shortcut us across from that non-existent trail to the PCT again, the red line. So, back to the original plan. No dirt bikes, Todd.
Okay.
Todd loves his dirt bikes.
I've never even been on one.